and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town. Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection, and this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
Thank you for asking, Frau Beckmann, but I'm just a little tired, that's all.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though. Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann. I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein.
Poor little thing.
There is no need to get sentimental, Kate Walker. The automaton was made for a specific purpose. It has no notion of sentiment. Indeed, I would go as far to say that it was a basic monofunctional automaton, unlike some of us more evolved automatons, built to serve several purposes. Wait, Kate Walker, I am a highly evolved automaton.
Yes, and built to serve several purposes. Off you go now.
I see. You still haven't lost any of your irritating habits, Kate Walker.
Look on the bright side, Oscar. Thanks to you, the piano works now.
Well, hurry up and make use of it like the rector said. Everything all right, Kate Walker?
It's the same. Exactly the same.
I beg your pardon?
The song I just played with the automatons, Vaughan's hymn, it's exactly the same melody as the one my mom's music box used to play. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid. We never did find out what it was.
And finding it today represents a major breakthrough because?
Because it means that there must be a link between Vaughan, my mom, and probably Dana, too. Dana, who looks so much like me.
Ah, a family connection then.
I don't know, but it's possible. And you can be sure as hell that I'm going to find out as soon as I've picked up Dana's trail again. Come on, Oscar. Our dear Mahler owes us a file.
Did I already mention how humiliating I think this is?
Oh, you did, Oscar. You did.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Rose, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last! Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke del Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein.
I say, this is a very unpleasant way of traveling, Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise I'll let you out as soon as possible, okay? The bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s. Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated. There's number 20. Dana's old house.
Guten Tag, Fraulein. On holiday in the region, Fraulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service.
I must say you have a beautiful shop, Frau Heigl.
Thank you, Fraulein. All our souvenirs are made for excellence, as we like to say here, all by local craftsmen. Were you looking for something in particular?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No, my husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the Roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fraulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fraulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir. Ah, there it is. How awful! That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
A double bed, plenty of space. Must have been Dana's parents' bedroom. So where's Dana's room, then? The number of rooms don't add up. It's been bricked up. Most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of. Just what I needed. According to the light and the clock behind Dana, her room must face north. Huh. The bedroom in the background of the portrait must be located in the attic. That's it, Oscar. I think I know where Dana's room is.
Enlighten me, Kate Walker.
Well, One of the photos shows a bedroom that's not on the second floor, right? And we know that the staircase was bricked up during the renovation and led to another floor. So that's got to be where we'll find Dana's missing bedroom.
It seems plausible, indeed.
It does. And if we're lucky, the room might be pretty much like Dana left it all those years ago, and potentially with clues to put us back on our track. I've just got to find a way to get to that third floor bedroom.
Seeing as you failed to create a positive bond with Frau Hegel, the next rational step would be to take a look outside the building, Kate Walker.
You're right, Oscar. Let's go and see.
Kate Walker, if I were meant to be used as a cannonball, I would have been given a fuse. This is highly irregular.
Tuck your head in, Oscar. 1,
If Hans Vorarlberg could see me now,
2,
how...
3.
Undignified! Oh my. Oh my. Really? Is this any way to treat an intelligent automaton? Really, if Mr. Vorarlberg could see me now...
He would say, "You've saved the day again, Oscar. You've exceeded all expectations by far." This was written not long after her time at the refuge. A letter from Leon. So he did write back to Dana after the expedition left Kantar, the capital of Baltayar. The High Plateau of Baltayar, October 25th, 1937. My darling Edelweiss.
I hate myself for not sending you news more often, and for not being able to receive news of you. I find myself now where probably no other modern-day human has ever ventured before. I regret to inform you that I won't be able to go back to Europe with my fellow survivors. Something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew. All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, we explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching, the rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. Especially our chief, Reinhard Berger. better get going before...
Do you know what time it is?
Time to be heading out?
Enough! You couldn't care less whether we find the Gorons or not, could you? Well, mark my words, Copperteeth. You'd better change your bloody attitude.
The day's only just bloody breaking.
I couldn't give a damn. Everyone has already started except you. So you just get your butt upstream and help Sour carry out his research. The idiot is capable of getting himself lost again.
All right. I'm not your enemy, you know.
I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation, Leon. If we don't find a specimen of the Goron, the Brown Shadow will... Look, just go find Sour. Please. Now!
Sour? What in the world?
Shh! Look what I found.
Is that a...
A Gorun! Yes, it's a Gorun! I heard him cry as I was taking a break near the path. Hurry, we must go fetch the others.
You go. He looks injured. I'd better stay and try and reach him before the current carries him away.
Right, Leon. Okay. But don't lose him.
All right, little fella. Don't move. I'm coming to get you. Take it easy. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to look at your wound. What can I give him to show I mean no ill? There you go. Good boy. It's all right. It's good, isn't it? Leg broken. I just want to look at it, all right? Look, little fella, if you let me see your wound, you can have another biscuit later, yes? It's broken, all right. Must be very painful. You're a brave boy. If I could clean the wound and brace your leg, we should be able to get you back to camp and make it better. Hold on. I'll be right back. Just be patient, little fella. I'll be right back. Here we go, fella. This is going to sting a little. There, wasn't so bad, was it? Now we just need to find a way to get you back across. Hey. Did you do that, little fella? Well, better drawing than talking, huh? Now we just have to wait for the others. Huh? Ah! You want another biscuit? You learn quick. It was a young specimen, my darling Dana. Almost like a child. And as soon as we made eye contact, I knew this was a creature endowed with reason. When my companions joined me, I immediately sensed we did not share the same point of view. They seemed blinded by the discovery. They couldn't see the individual.